back, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Glad you could visit. I was thinking this week on, we've almost been in this property for 2 years and I have not given you a history or background on why we're here. And one of the things that, one of the reasons we moved out here was to move our business, which is a cabinet shop, and to put up a shop. So I have not been diligent in giving you pictures and videos of how we put the building up, so I thought maybe I would do a retrospective of how we got the building up and what it took to get here. So glad you could join us, glad you could visit, and hope you enjoy the video. One of the challenges of putting the building up on this property was that there's not a whole lot of flat land that we could have built on, and what flat land there is required a whole lot of drainage, which would have required truckload after truckload of gravel. So one of the excavators that we talked to suggested that we just cut into the side of the hill here, and as it turns out, it turned out to be the best location, not only for putting the building up, but in relationship to the house and to power and to other things. And there were some cost savings as well. We didn't have to bring in all the gravel. So the excavator cut into the side of the hill there, and whatever he excavated, he separated the organics, the top layer of dirt, from the clay and the rock. And whatever was clay and rock, he moved to the right side of the building, or the south side of the building. And the building is essentially kind of built up on half of built up clay and rock and on virgin ground that was cut out. Of course, this brought up some extra challenges, which you'll see in a bit. So the last of the deliveries just came. The trusses were just delivered and craned off. So yesterday, 2 deliveries of gravel, 10 yards worth. I guess they use that for putting the posts in and tamping for drainage. And we have all the trusses and rough lumber delivered. So 11 trusses, I believe, and 2 pallets worth of rough lumber, and all the posts were delivered yesterday as well. But he got stuck, and I'll take a quick picture of that. I didn't get any video of him trying to get himself unstuck, but 30-foot trailer with the posts, 18-foot posts for the main structure. So the trailer was left here overnight, and he's coming back on Monday after it's been offloaded to pick it up. And so I believe, other than siding and windows and roofing materials, I think everything is here to start on Monday. So stay tuned and we'll start taking videos of the building going up. So a bit of an update. This is day 2 of the build. They've got most of the posts set except for the front. I'm assuming they do that later. Looks like they had a half decent day today. I understand the digging was quite hard here, so hopefully day 3 we'll see quite a bit more progress and maybe even a bit of metal up on the sides and the roof. Well, it's been an interesting week. I was trying to document it with the time-lapse photography, but it didn't really work out. Power went out, and I guess I didn't have it plugged in some of the time, but Thursday the new pole went in with the upgraded service, so that's nicely done. And the building is up. So a couple of things have to be done to the building yet, but I guess they can't do that right away, is eaves troughs and the overhead door. So the exterior is done. So that's phase one of the building, I guess. And what's going to happen next is we're going to look at getting insulation and interior finishes and gas line and getting electrical run to the building. But I'll go up to the pad and we'll look inside for a second. So part of the process of putting up the building was to get a new power service. What was existing when we bought the property was a 10 kilovolt transformer, which was sufficient to run the house and one of the outbuildings, and perhaps another 100 amp service. But because we have three-phase machines, I had to allocate a certain amount of power for running the three-phase machines, so I had to put a 200 amp service in, and we upgraded the power to a 25 kilovolt service. So the 7 windows on the south side, looking out on the property, which is going to be nice. Tucks in nicely in the trees, butting up to the new pole. We might consider some overhead wires to the shop rather than digging a trench, but we have to talk to an electrician first and see what's the easiest. It's going to look good. Lots of work to go. Lots of dirt digging in the summer. It's supposed to be +9 from what I heard on the radio on Thursday, so it's going to be a soupy mess out here. So the last 2 items are done. The overhead garage doors in, went in today. Eaves troughs went in yesterday, and that's it. So now I'm going to call for inspection and then on to the next phase. Phase 2 of the project is going to start today. We brought in the insulation yesterday afternoon. We're going to go with an R20 by 24 inch by 48 inch long insulation. The builder recommended R28, but going with an R20 is about $1,000 savings. And so now I have to begin to strap the inside of the building. And instead of going on the outside, I'm going to put pieces in between the posts. It's a little bit more work, but that way the R20 will fit. It's starting to rain in here. It was -10 when I woke up, and the sun is starting to hit the building, and all the moisture is condensing on the roof and starting to drip. So it could be interesting today. I brought the thermometer out here, and it was, like I say, -10 when I first came in here. Now we're at about a -3, so we'll probably keep on warming up as the sun keeps on warming up the building. But we're going to start in the northeast corner, start strapping the inside with 2x4s, and then once I've got a little ways ahead, Mrs. from the Woods is going to come and help and start shoving insulation in there, and then we'll cover it with vapor barrier. So I got everything set up, chop saw, work light, and everything else. There's my pile of 140 2x4x12s. So we're going to get started. And so day 1 coming to a close. Not so good today. Had to go to the city to pick up some scaffolding because working off a ladder just wasn't cutting it. So went and got my scaffold, and we got all of one wall done. But at least we know what we're doing now. So yeah, I crushed my pinky finger today, which is just killing me at the moment. Had to pick up some ladders, and so instead we just made another pickup at the shop with tools and whatnot for today. So we'll pick it up another day, and we'll probably make more progress on day 2. So on the north side of the building, where they cut out of the hill, we do have some drainage issues. We have them about 90% figured out. But during spring runoff and heavy rains, it does run away from the building, but it collects against the hill. And we actually have to fix that this summer. Subject for another video coming up. At any rate, we have to do this. We're going to continue with the gabion wall, put another layer up eventually, just to stop the hill from eroding away when it rains. And the gabion wall, surprisingly enough, holds a lot of weight and does a great job of holding back the dirt. So in the spring, we have terrible runoff coming off of the entire hill up here, and it all seems to collect right there, and then it runs away from the building. But we have to tweak that this summer, and but it does work reasonably well and keeps the building dry. So most of the clay and rock that was excavated was pushed into this location here, which is now part of the driveway. We still have a fair amount of landscaping to do, but that'll come over time, when time and money permit. But we put a driveway in last fall, and the entire summer last year was wrestling with mud and clay and wet and dry. And part of the problem that we encountered was that when the excavator was working in February and March, he was putting most of this product onto frozen ground, which took a while to thaw afterwards because it had product on top of it, and it just remained a soupy mess for months. At any rate, it finally dried up. We got some 3/4 crush on there, and I've seeded the hillside for the most part. Right now it seems to be mostly weeds, but there is some grass coming up, and maybe over the summer it'll fill in. But yeah, a little bit of landscaping to do yet. Hopefully this lawn comes in. And we did put a culvert in underneath to help with the drainage. There's the outlet of the pipe, and it actually works quite well. And 6-inch pipe, which was recommended for us, plastic, and it seems to be doing the trick. So on both the north and the south side of the building, because we decided to go with a building with no overhang on the eaves, it was a cost-saving measure on our part. But that has its challenges as well, because the snow on a metal roof slides off and does not melt into the eaves trough. So I think this summer we also have to put some, I don't know what they're called, but a snow gripper, something to that effect, on the roof so that it stops the snow from sliding, because what happens is it drips right at the edge of the building and makes the side of the building dirty, and we can't be having that. So that's a bit of an update on how we got the building up. We've been operating the business for about a year. It took about a month and a half of hard work and long days to get the shop up and running. And Yeah, I apologize for not being diligent in taking pictures of, a more detailed process on how it went up, but we were so pressed for time, and taking pictures and taking video just wasn't in the cards, I guess. But we're really blessed that we're here, and we really enjoy it out here working from home. And also, we're happy that you could join us, that you could visit. And if you like this content, we ask that you would subscribe and that you would join us again on another video coming up soon.